Missile Command, I was working on four-player soccer, and Steve Calfee, the software manager, called me into his office and said, Dave, we'd like you to, after you finish this game, to work on a new game where the Russians are invading the U.S., and there's this radar screen, and you can see the missiles coming in, and you have to defend the country. And he said, just think about that for your next game. And when I walked out of his office, my spine was just tingling, because I knew that this was like, wow, this is like a great idea. This is going to be great, and it's going to be fun. Well, one of the things that gave me a rush was seeing Missile Command and Terminator 2, because I love Schwarzenegger's movies, and I love especially his Terminator movies. And to see Missile Command in the second movie was a blast.
Despite the fact that it was just a game, Missile Command dealt with some serious issues. In the geopolitical climate in which it was conceived, the threat of nuclear war seemed very real to most Americans, and it was hammered home especially hard to Theurer. Here he recounts some of what he went through in developing the game.
Well, Missile Command to me was a lot of fun, but it was also a serious matter. And when Atari asked me to do the game, one of the things I said was, this is going to be a totally defensive game. It's not going to be an offensive game. I refused to do something where I had sent off missiles to attack the USSR. So he said, fine. So it's a totally defensive game, and to me then it's moral. You're defending your country against attack. But the thought of what actually happens when there's a nuclear attack is terrifying. And working on the game for 6 months, I internalized a lot of the stuff. So I'd have nightmares about nuclear attacks. In my dream, I'd see a white streak going across the sky, just like in Missile Command, and I'd be up hiking in the mountains, and I'd see it hit in the valley, like in Sunnyvale, and I'd see the explosion, and I'd know that the blast was going to hit me in like 15 seconds, and I'd wake up in a cold sweat. And this happened quite frequently when I was doing the game, and then it tapered off after the game, but still, I had them for a couple of years afterwards, maybe one every 2-3 months. So it was a sobering experience.
Although you were defending cities from attack, the game always ended in defeat. Dave Theurer never considered putting in an ending.
Well, that was the whole point of the game, was to show that if there was ever a nuclear war, that you would never win. So that's why there's no end.